Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be looking at the Yoda's Elite Clone Troopers Battle Pack. But before we take a closer look at the figures themselves, let's go ahead and take a look at their packaging. I believe these guys came out in the 30th anniversary collection, so it's got the corner cut out here at the top. There's a picture of a 41st Elite Trooper here, and there is a screenshot taken from the third movie. On the back here, there is a description of the role the 41st Elite played in the movie, and up here, this is a description, I think, of the line themselves. So if you'd like to read either of those, you can pause the video. Over here, there's another screen capture from the third movie. Here are the figures themselves, and down here at the bottom, there are the other figures available at the same time. So let's get back to the important part, which is the figures. We'll go ahead and start off with Commander Gree. This guy is really well detailed and well painted, and I think he's in a pretty cool pose. He does have articulation, but it's kind of useless. The first piece here is in his shoulder, and it just lets him twist the pointing arm, so that's really not that useful. It does go 360, but there's really no point in moving it. The other piece of articulation is here at his other shoulder, and it just allows him to smack himself in the face with his gun. So, again, that's not very helpful. I wish there was articulation in the head, but they didn't think to do that, so I guess that's fine. But don't let that take away from this figure, because the paint job is really amazing for his size, which is, get the ruler out here, about 2¼ inches. So he's standing almost straight up, so he's got pretty good size for one of these smaller scale figures. Let's go ahead and move on to another figure here. This is one of these standard 41st Elite Troopers. He's in kind of a squatting position, so he only stands 1¾ inches tall. Again, he's really well painted and well sculpted. If the camera will ever focus, there we go. And his base is really well detailed too. This guy doesn't have any articulation at all, and he really doesn't need it. I think he's probably in the coolest pose you could get him in, like in this kind of position. So I'm glad they didn't add any articulation there. The third figure in the pack is this guy here, another 41st Elite Clone Trooper. He's got two pieces, sorry. The first, two pieces of articulation, that is. The first one here is a swivel at the head, which is kind of useful, I guess, if you want to pose him looking in a different direction or something. And the other piece is this really useless, I mean, I don't even know why you would ever want him to not hold the gun. So that was kind of a waste of time. But he is well detailed and well painted like the other figures, and he stands about 2¼ inches tall. So they're all pretty well scaled with each other. The base here has got a Wookiee paw print on it, so that's kind of cool. And like I said, they're all really well painted, so that's nice. The third figure in the pack, fourth figure, if I can count today, is this guy, and I saved him for last because he's kind of disappointing. And you're probably asking yourself why, because he's got just an articulated head, which is useful for this character, so he can look down either sight or just straight forward. And he's in a really cool pose, he's got a cool base, well painted, so why would I not like him? If you notice here, he's leaning very far back. And if you set this guy on the table here, see, I probably can't even get him to stand up. No. So these guys are statues essentially, and they couldn't even bother to make this one stand up. So that's kind of disappointing. I think in the thumbnail picture I took of these guys, he's actually leaning up against another character to get him to stand, so I mean, I guess you can kind of work around it. If you have them displayed on a shelf, you could put a little piece of tape or some sticky tack to keep him standing, but I mean, you really have to. I've got him to stand up before, but if you walk by him, he pretty much falls over. I'll go ahead and tell you the size here. He's about 2¼ inches, so he's right in scale with all of the other ones, but just kind of disappointing that he doesn't stand up by himself. But I would say overall, I mean, you know, aside from the problem where he doesn't want to stand up, they make a really cool pack. There's no doubles in this one, so that's nice. They're all really well painted, well sculpted. They're all in cool poses. So I would say it's probably worth picking up if you like these type of figures, and you can just work around this guy not standing. So just tell me what you think about these guys in the comments section below, and I'll see you later.